Tonight on EKB Evening News at 6. Police continue to investigate a fatal fire Thursday in Floyd County. Good evening, I'm Gary Sloan.
And I'm Cindy Mae Johnson. A house fire that claimed the life of a Floyd County woman yesterday is under investigation by Kentucky State Police. The fire began shortly after 2 o'clock at a residence on Route 2030 at Little Mud Creek. KSP Public Information Officer Stephen Mounts says when police arrived, they made a tragic discovery.
State Police Post 9 received a 911 call stating that there was a structure fire in the Honeacre community of Floyd County. Our troopers responded to the scene and determined that a 66-year-old female had perished in the fire.
The victim was identified as Linda Akers of Honeacre. Investigators still don't know what caused the fire or Akers' exact cause of death. Detective Jeremy Giles is leading the investigation.
The Williamson City Council took action last night to provide some relief to the understaffed Williamson Fire Department. EKB News reporter Shelby Steele was at that meeting and tells us more in this report.
The Williamson City Fire Department is experiencing a shortage of staff. During the Williamson City Council meeting yesterday evening, the council allowed the fire department to temporarily set aside employment requirements in order to hire a volunteer firefighter. The new employee now has 60 days to pass the written test. Williamson Fire Chief Joey Carey says the department has been losing firefighters for a while because most of them have moved out of state.
We've had a shortage of men now for a couple of years. We had a couple of guys leave. The fire chief left, moved to South Carolina, he and his son, and we were already short then. And I came to my office a couple of weeks ago, and one of my other career men came in and gave me a 2-week notice that he was moving, so he's going to be relocating to Tennessee.
Shane Runyon, who is the new employee, says he's already been with the department for a while.
Kind of a dream come true. Been a volunteer for a little over a year now. Looking forward to helping the guys out full time.
Carey says even with the new hire, the department is still short in staff.
Right now we are down 3. We are down 3 career men. Still with the emergency hire, I'm still down 3. Full staff, we have 6 career men and a fire chief, so we have 7 career men there. We have 2 on each shift, have 3 shifts.
Carey adds that even though they are short-staffed, that hasn't caused them any hiccups.
We're managing. We're covering our shifts, covering the calls that we need to. It's just we're focusing more on using our part-paid men now until we get the civil service hiring test completed.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
A Pikeville man wanted on numerous warrants in and out of Pike County found himself facing more charges when he allegedly put up a fight with police. 40-year-old Jeffrey Hager was wanted on burglary and theft charges in Pike County, as well as numerous traffic violations in Powell County, when police tracked him down at a residence at Mouthguard yesterday afternoon. When confronted by police, Hager allegedly tried to flee on foot and struggled against numerous attempts to arrest him, even after being tasered. Hager was eventually subdued and now faces additional charges of fleeing police and resisting arrest. He was also charged with theft after he was allegedly found in possession of a stolen license plate at the time of his arrest.
Last night at the East Kentucky Leadership Conference, several individuals and groups were recognized for the contributions to the region. EKB News reporter Courtney Lovren attended the event and brings us this report.
The East Kentucky Leadership Foundation held its annual awards banquet Thursday night at the Eastern Kentucky Expo Center. The ceremony honored those who have contributed to the region and awarded them for their works.
It's a great event. It's when all East Kentuckians get together, we talk about our problems, and we try to solve our problems. And we work as one. Every county, we come together and work as one. And that makes us stronger.
The Jenny Wiley Theater, University of Pikeville students and teachers, and even country singer Angelina Presley performed for the crowd in attendance. Awards were given out in respect of culture and arts, organization, media, private individual, public individual, and youth accomplishments. But the most notable award of the evening was the Tony Turner Award, which is not given annually but only to those who have made major contributions to the region. The winner of that award, Judy Patton.
Really, it's a great honor. The greatest honor one can receive is to be honored by their own. And because to me, my own is my people, East Kentuckians. And especially to get the Tony Turner Award. It's so humbling. He did so much.
Judy's charity, titled Judy's Place for Kids, is one of Patton's biggest projects and works to help those children affected by sexual and physical abuse, which Patton considers a problem that is often overlooked. The annual awards were a success in honoring one of Central Appalachia's most influential leaders. Reporting for EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Courtney Levering.
Well, coming up, good news for our region as county unemployment rates have fallen.
And Copper, the K-9 unit, has been on the job at the Pike County Detention Center for a few weeks now. We'll find out if he's making the grade when we return in 2 minutes.
Kentucky officials are pointing to positive movement in the state's economy, noting that unemployment rates are down in all 120 counties compared to this time last year. Eastern Kentucky does still have some of the state's highest jobless numbers. In our immediate area, most counties posted rates below 10%, although Magoffin County's 14.7% is the highest rate in the state. Compare that to 3.5% in Woodford County, which has the state's lowest rate.
One of the newest additions to the Pike County Detention Center staff is already making a mark. After only 2 weeks on the job, he has assisted in the crackdown on illegal drugs, even turning up evidence leading to several indictments. And best of all, he's paid in kibble. EKB News reporter Shelby Steele brings us this update on what Copper, the K-9 unit, has been up to.
2 weeks ago, we brought you a story of a new Pike County Detention Center employee, Copper. Now we bring you an update. Copper has already helped get people indicted and helped with the drug issue in the detention center.
His first day, we located some marijuana with him up in on the female side, which, you know, it worked on into an actual indictment.
Lewis explains that Copper can even sniff out if a person has previously used drugs.
He went to these other beds and sat on the other beds. And in a way, it was being our first day, I was wondering, why is he sitting on those other 3 beds? And I had someone tell me, said, called me over to the side and said, I think that the reason he's sitting on those other 3 beds is because those 3 other girls were smoking marijuana last night. Even though they wasn't even in the pod when we done the search, we had them out in the hallway, he still toed on them. So, it actually helped us catch them 4 people the first day.
Lewis adds that Copper has not only helped with the drug problem, he has also helped the taxpayers save money.
The way I look at it, if we can keep drugs out of this jail, that means that we don't have to send people for medical. We don't have to run over to Pikeville Medical Center when they're going through withdrawals. We don't have to send them over there, when they OD. And the taxpayers has got to foot the bill. So, if you try to keep it out of here, that's one thing you don't have to deal with.
Lewis says Copper is trained in different areas, and along with the drug problem, Copper can help officers with any assignment.
It all depends on how you hook him up. When you put his leash on, he knows what he's supposed to be doing. If you hook him one certain way, he knows that he's going into search mode. If you hook him another certain way, he knows he's going into tracking mode. Copper's trained to track. If we get someone that's escaped, if one of our officers throughout the county, state police get someone that's escaped from them, Copper comes in very handy there. He not only can find drugs, but he can find people that's escaped.
With EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
The city of Williamson has been recognized by Parade magazine. Parade is a national Sunday newspaper magazine distributed in more than 700 papers in the United States. On April 19th, an excerpt featured Sustainable Williamson. The article reads in part, "This small town has created a farmer's market and community garden and hires local workers to build affordable housing with a focus on reclaimed materials and energy-efficient construction." Williamson Mayor Steve Johnston Knopp says he's proud of Williamson and its accomplishments.
The community gardens, the farmers market, and the affordable housing efforts to use recycled materials in the construction of houses and also in commercial buildings in downtown. So great work by the Williamson Redevelopment Authority and by all their volunteers, and we're very proud that they are receiving national recognition.
Sustainable Williamson is a project of the Williamson Health and Wellness Center and the town of Williamson. It's a living lab platform working through community-driven processes to breathe life back into the local economy. Coming up, the Pikeville High School softball team, they're looking for an all-A state title. Jamie Johnson will be in to tell us all about it.
But first, EKB Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins will give us our weekend weather forecast and a first look at next week. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
What a great week we've had. Today, another beautiful day.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Temperatures all week in the 60s. We'll stay in the 60s through the weekend. We do warm things back up late next week, but we do also have to watch tomorrow's forecast very closely. Here's why. The Doppler radar for now nice and quiet, but we're going to zoom out here. And you can already see a few showers developing across western parts of Kentucky. We're starting to see the clouds move back into our region as we speak. The showers in western Kentucky will gradually move to the east, so a couple of showers expected after midnight tonight. But tomorrow is when I'm really focusing in for the potential for severe weather. Now, as we mentioned, another beautiful day, temperatures into the 60s. We have 66 in Pikeville, 64 in Paintsville and Prestonsburg. Now, unfortunately, the National Weather Service office in Jackson, way up on a mountaintop, so we did not hit the record of 32 degrees back in 2005 this morning. They clocked in at 38 degrees, but now we did have a few upper 20s. Prestonsburg this morning, 29 degrees. We hit 32 here in downtown Pikeville, so a frosty start to the day, but we finished today at 63 officially at the National Weather Service office in Jackson. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:42, sunset at 8:14. Now, satellite and radar composite, now this takes us all the way across the eastern half of the country, and I want you to notice what's happening just off to the south and to the west. You'll notice storms beginning to fire up Oklahoma to Texas, some rain moving from western parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, down into Arkansas. This is our next storm system that will be moving this way, especially overnight tonight and during the day tomorrow. Now watch how this plays out tonight and tomorrow. You notice the rain showers widespread tomorrow morning through early tomorrow afternoon. Then we get a break. We will see some sun. And it all depends on how much sunshine we see, exactly what type of weather we see tomorrow evening. The more sun we see, the stronger the storms could be. I'm going to go a little closer in with the future cast, and you can see there's the rain in western parts of Kentucky. It moves through overnight tonight, and then more widespread showers expected tomorrow morning, as I mentioned. Then we get a break, but notice all these storms firing up western and central parts of Kentucky. Those eventually have to move to the east, and that's why we will have to watch for the potential for severe weather tomorrow. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, we have 5 categories ranging from marginal all the way to high. Most of Kentucky in at least the slight risk category. The enhanced, this is the best chance of severe weather, stretching from Middlesboro to Bowling Green to Paducah. Here across our region, more in the slight risk for most of southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia. What does that mean? Well, when you break it down, damaging winds will have a high threat if those storms hold together, as well as large hail. Flash flooding will also be a potential due to the fact the ground is so saturated, and yes, the low tornado threat will also exist. So keep it tuned right here, and we will keep you up to date with the latest. The pollen count, sponsored by Faith Pharmacy, Adams Plaza and Pikeville, with the rain tomorrow dropping into the medium category, 4.8, back to 7 on Sunday, and yes, of course, into the high category as we head into next week. An 80-90% chance of rain for tomorrow, 68 degrees, 63 on Sunday, and then back into the low 60s as we get into next week. But stay tuned right here, we'll keep you updated.
Hey, I like that low pollen count tomorrow.
At least that's one good thing with the rain. It does lower the pollen count.
It's called looking for the silver lining.
There you go.
Well, biologists studying the health of fish in local waterways use a method that might shock you. It certainly shocks the fish, but as EKB News outdoors expert Ronnie Hilton tells us, scientists say electrofishing is actually the least harmful method they have studying fish.
On Thursday morning, biologists with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources performed an assessment on the largemouth bass population in the Pikeville City Lake. Biologists used a technique called electrofishing to catch and study the bass.
Yeah, with the electrofishing, we use it in the springtime for our largemouth bass, black bass assessments. And with the management, we need to know what the numbers are, health, size, our length frequencies, so we know if we need to do some supplemental stocking or we need to modify regulations on the particular lake. Our lakes, streams, the habitats vary, so we need to have different types of management regulations.
While some may question if electrofishing harms the fish, biologists explain how electrofishing is a better alternative than other methods to catch and study the bass.
The electrofishing, we use it because it's really the safest and best method we have to collect the fish. It's real efficient for us versus if you want to use rod and reel. Nets can be hard on fish. They used to, years ago, use a chemical that you could put in the water, but you're actually killing the bass just to look at them. So with electrofishing, and our boats are set up, we can adjust amps, pulses per second, the AC, DC, but each species different reacting to it, and we can set it to where it just stuns them. It gives us 1 to 2 seconds to dip the fish. If we don't, the fish is gone. Every 15 minutes we stop, go through the fish, and then we release the fish right back to the water, and they swim right away then.
While other area lakes have a largemouth bass population with 12 to 15% of the bass being greater than 15 inches in length, the Pikeville City Lake hosts a largemouth bass population with over 50% of the bass being greater than 15 inches. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Ronnie Hilton.
And we'll be back with sports in 2 minutes.
Pretty exciting stuff about the Pikeville High School girls softball team, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, going to state again this year, and right now they should be about halfway to Owensboro as we finish this newscast in preparation for the State All-A Classic Softball Tournament. The Lady Panthers are making their 5th trip to Owensboro over the past 6 years, still searching for that elusive state championship. Pikeville had some unfinished business last night before hitting the road as they faced Shelby Valley. We'll pick this up in the top of the first inning. Cameron Sloan drawing the walk to load the bases, which would set up Erica Kahn, and she would deliver this slap to right field, bringing in the first of 5 runs for Pikeville to start the game. Next, Shelby Valley would try a snap throw to third, and that's more trouble than it's worth, allowing Sloan to score from third base. Then this wild pitch would bring in 2 more. Lady Panthers would cruise to the victory 16-1 over Shelby Valley. Other scores from last night: Betsy Lane clobbered Allen Central 26-2. It was Eastridge defeating Grundy 10-2. Lawrence County shut down West Carter 14-1. McGoffin County 11-6 winners over Sheldon Clark. Paintsville edged Pike Central 2-1, and it was Phelps all over Tug Valley 16-1. Finally, Knott County Central swept a doubleheader over South Floyd 6-5 and 14-6. High school baseball: the Belfry Pirates hosting Lawrence County on Pond Creek last night. The Bulldogs broke this game open in the 5th inning. Trace Bowen, the ground ball. Pirates first baseman Jordan Meddings tries to cut down the runner at home. Missed it by a step. Next, Noah Lambert, the double to center field, scoring 2 more Bulldogs. Lawrence County would beat up on Belfry pitching here, as you'll see Lambert standing at second base with a little bit of moxie on that one. And then clean up on aisle 3. Pass ball. Don't you hate it when you misplace something? Yeah, they would cut down the runner, though, at home. Belfry recovering on the play. Lawrence County wasn't finished, though. Brad Parks, the slap to shortstop. The throw would pull Meddings off the bag at first, allowing another run to score. A total of 10 runs would cross the plate in the 5th inning alone, and Lawrence County goes home victorious 16-5. Other scores saw Perry Central down Eastridge 12-4. Phelps all over Wolfe County 20-3. South Floyd swept a doubleheader in district play over Betsy Lane 8-6 and 11-3. High school football, Pikeville senior wide receiver Cody Estep officially signed to play football at the next level with Center College today. A Wendy's High School Heisman Award winner, Estep finished his senior season becoming the Panthers' all-time leader in receiving yards and touchdown catches. Estep explains why he chose Center College and what he looks forward to this coming season.
I had some options up north and northeast, Johns Hopkins, Yale, but I just wanted to stay in Kentucky, stay around my family, stay around my supporters, and it's just, the people were just my kind of people at Center, I guess. Well, coming off the injury, I mean, it's been hard, but I just gotta keep working how I have been and just rehab my foot back. And I think I'll contend for a spot as a freshman. Yeah, I'm excited to play at the collegiate level, just kind of like better competition, different style of play, faster, more my kind of football, I guess.
College basketball UK coach John Calipari continues to chase potential recruits for this upcoming basketball season. This weekend, Lexington is hosting the EYBL AAU tournament, where many top recruits for 2016 will be on display. One such player who could reclassify for 2015 is Jamal Murray. He isn't coming after all. The Canadian point guard suddenly became a top priority for Kentucky after his performance in the Nike Elite Tournament. Murray had planned to visit campus this weekend. Now, the Cats will still be entertaining JUCO transfer Michael Mulder, who received a scholarship offer from Kentucky last weekend. Mulder has also received offers from Indiana, Wichita State, and Creighton. Also breaking late today, Malik Newman, who was a Kentucky target, decided to sign with Mississippi State. Finally, the Cincinnati Reds begin a weekend series at home hosting the Chicago Cubs, and tonight the team will celebrate the 25th anniversary of the 1990 Reds World Series champions. More than 30 members of the team's wire-to-wire World Series champs, including the Nasty Boys, Rob Dibble, Randy Myers, Norm Charlton, along with Hall of Famer Barry Larkin, and also Reds Hall of Famer Eric Davis will be on hand for tonight's ceremonies. The team will wear the retro 1990 uniforms you see in the highlight clip there from 1990 to honor the team, and they'll do that prior to the post-game fireworks tonight. I was 12 years old, Cindy, when this team won the World Series. I'm as excited now as I was back then.
Just makes you a little boy again, doesn't it?
I'm right back there in my mind.
For Gary and me, it's, hey, that's retro?
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, the possibility of some heavy rain tomorrow?
That is indeed a possibility. Now tonight, temperatures will be back in the mid-40s, just a couple of showers to deal with. We get the showers again through early afternoon tomorrow. It is late tomorrow afternoon and evening that we watch for the threat of severe weather. Of course, damaging winds, large hail, heavy rain will be the main threat. We'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Well, no matter what the weather is doing outside, indoors, it'll be the old prairie.
Yes, some our favorite westerns coming up on EKB TV. Happy trails to you tonight.
Saddle up, everybody.
Well, that will do it for tonight's EKB Evening News. Remember, you can get more local news anytime by listening to the radio stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting.
You can follow EKB News and EKB TV on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to leave you tonight with the tranquil sights and sounds of nearby Chloe Creek. Good night, and thanks for watching.